Have you ever looked at your fruit bowl and thought, this is the healthiest part of my kitchen? You're not alone. For decades, we've been told that fruit is nature's candy, a guilt-free pleasure packed with vitamins, fiber, and energy. And for the most part, that's true. But what if I told you that some of those colorful, juicy fruits, yes, the ones we trust and love, might not be as innocent as they seem, especially if you're over 60? Now, I'm not here to scare you away from eating fruit. I'm here to help you make smarter, safer choices. Because as we age, our bodies don't respond to food the same way they used to. Our digestion slows down, our medications change, and our nutritional needs shift. That means even something as wholesome as fruit could become a hidden threat if we're not paying attention. In this video, we're going to talk about 7 specific fruits that could be silently harming your health. Some of them might surprise you. They look healthy. They taste great. But depending on your medications, your blood sugar, or even your kidney function, these fruits can do more harm than good. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's dive in. You deserve to know the truth about what's really going into your body. Let's begin with a fruit that seems perfectly harmless: grapefruit. At first glance, grapefruit looks like the ideal breakfast choice. Fresh, tangy, low in calories, and bursting with vitamin C. But what many seniors don't know is that this seemingly healthy fruit can dangerously interfere with over 85 common medications. Yes, you heard that right. One fruit, more than 85 medications. You see, grapefruit contains compounds called furanocoumarins. These chemicals block a specific enzyme in your gut responsible for breaking down certain drugs. When that enzyme gets blocked, your body can absorb too much of the medication, or in some cases, not enough. Either way, it throws your entire treatment plan off balance. Imagine you're taking medication for high blood pressure or cholesterol. Grapefruit can cause those drugs to linger in your bloodstream longer than intended, making them much stronger, and sometimes dangerously so. On the flip side, it can weaken other medications, leaving you vulnerable to the very conditions you're trying to manage. Henry, a 72-year-old retired teacher, found this out the hard way. Every morning, he sipped his fresh-squeezed grapefruit juice, proud of his heart-healthy breakfast. But over time, he started feeling dizzy, weak, and off balance. His doctor ran tests and discovered that Henry's medication levels were far too high. The culprit? That innocent glass of juice. Once he removed grapefruit from his diet, his symptoms faded, and his medications started working properly again. So if you take daily prescriptions, especially for your heart, blood pressure, or anxiety, talk to your doctor before consuming grapefruit or its juice. There are plenty of other fruits, like oranges or kiwi, that offer similar benefits without the risk. When it comes to medication, even a small change in diet can make a big difference. Now, let's talk about something a bit more exotic. Durian, also known as the king of fruits. Durian has a reputation. Its strong smell and rich, custard-like texture make it a delicacy in many parts of the world. But for seniors, it's a minefield. Why? Because durian doesn't just smell intense, it acts intense inside your body. First, durian is extremely high in natural fats and sugars. While healthy fats are important, the kind of dense, heavy fat in durian can be tough for an aging digestive system to process. If you've ever felt bloated, overheated, or unusually tired after eating, your body might be telling you it's working too hard to digest what you just consumed. Second, durian's combination of sulfur and sugar makes it particularly risky when paired with alcohol or medications that affect the liver. This can lead to nausea, dizziness, and dangerous spikes in blood pressure, especially in older adults with slowed metabolism or pre-existing conditions. Robert, a 68-year-old who loved exploring new foods, once tried a generous serving of durian at a cultural event. Within a few hours, he felt his heart racing and his body flushed with heat. He didn't think much of it until it happened again. It wasn't until he saw his doctor and mentioned the fruit that the connection was made. His body simply couldn't handle the sugar and fat load all at once. And here's another concern. Durian is one of the highest sugar fruits out there. For those managing diabetes, even a small portion can cause sudden spikes in blood sugar. The problem? Durian doesn't contain the same amount of balancing fiber that other fruits have. That means its sugar enters your bloodstream fast and hits hard. So if you're watching your weight, managing blood sugar, or dealing with digestive concerns, durian might not be worth the risk. Yes, it's unique. Yes, it's flavorful. But when your body is already working harder to keep everything in balance, choosing safer fruits like berries or apples may be the better path. These first two fruits, grapefruit and durian, may look very different, but they have something in common. They both demand more from your body than most people realize. And when you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you don't need food that makes things harder. You need nourishment that supports you, heals you, and gives you energy to enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build. Let's keep going, because the next fruit on this list looks cheerful and harmless, but it can cause serious harm without ever raising suspicion. I'm talking about star fruit. Bright yellow, star-shaped, and often praised for its refreshing taste, star fruit seems like the kind of food you'd proudly add to a fruit salad or enjoy on a sunny afternoon. But for seniors, especially anyone with even mild kidney issues, this fruit can be unexpectedly dangerous. Here's why. Star fruit contains a natural compound known as a neurotoxin. In healthy people, the kidneys filter this toxin out just fine. But for older adults, where kidney function often naturally declines with age, even without a formal diagnosis of kidney disease, that filtering system may not be as effective. This means the toxin can build up in the bloodstream, and once it reaches your nervous system, the effects can be frightening. Imagine feeling confused, dizzy, or even shaky, with no idea why. That's what happened to George, 74 years old, who had always considered himself relatively healthy. One day, he decided to buy a few star fruits from the grocery store, just for fun. He ate one with lunch, then another the next morning. Within a couple of days, he felt foggy, unstable on his feet, and even had trouble remembering names. His doctor later traced it back to the fruit, and once he stopped eating it, his symptoms gradually faded. What makes this even scarier is how subtle the symptoms can be. They don't always appear right away, and many seniors assume they're just having a bad day or feeling tired. But in reality, the toxin can accumulate quietly, causing confusion, muscle twitching, or even seizures in more extreme cases. That's why star fruit is something seniors, especially those with reduced kidney function, should avoid altogether. Now let's talk about another fruit that hides its danger behind a sweet, creamy smile. Cherimoya, also known as custard apple. With its velvety flesh and tropical flavor, cherimoya is the kind of fruit that feels like a special treat. It's sweet, soft, and delicious. But hidden beneath that soft texture are seeds and skin that contain neurotoxins capable of harming your brain and nervous system over time. You see, cherimoya contains a compound called annonacin, a naturally occurring chemical that has been linked to neurological disorders and even symptoms similar to Parkinson's disease. What's particularly concerning is how easy it is to accidentally consume part of the seed. Unlike fruits like cherries or peaches, where the pit is large and easy to remove, cherimoya's seeds can break up and mix into the fruit's flesh without you even noticing. Leonard, a 70-year-old retiree who enjoyed trying exotic fruits, added cherimoya to his weekly grocery list after seeing it in a health magazine. He ate it regularly for dessert, not realizing he was slowly exposing his body to neurotoxins. Months later, he noticed a slight tremor in his hands and occasional trouble with coordination. His doctor couldn't find a clear cause until Leonard mentioned his new fruit habit. After removing cherimoya from his diet, those subtle symptoms began to ease. Now, this doesn't mean a single bite will cause long-term damage, but repeated exposure over time, especially as the body ages and detoxification becomes less efficient, can put unnecessary stress on your nervous system. When you're working hard to preserve your memory, your coordination, and your independence. Why take that risk? Even more concerning is that many people eat cherimoya thinking they're doing something good for themselves. It's often marketed as a superfruit. But as with everything, the details matter. If a fruit requires extreme caution or careful preparation just to be safe, it may not be worth the trouble, especially when there are safer, equally delicious options like pears, bananas, or mangoes that won't make your nervous system work overtime. Now let's move on to a fruit you've probably eaten before, maybe even recently, without knowing how risky it can be when it's not fully ripe. I'm talking about unripe papaya. Now don't get me wrong, ripe papaya can be a wonderful digestive aid, especially for seniors. It's gentle on the stomach and rich in enzymes that help break down proteins. But the unripe version? That's a different story entirely. When papaya is still green or firm, it contains a high concentration of natural latex compounds. These latex-like substances can cause digestive irritation, allergic reactions, and for some people, especially those with sensitivities, they can even trigger inflammation in the esophagus or stomach lining. Eleanor, a vibrant 76-year-old with a passion for smoothies, discovered this the hard way. She blended an unripe papaya thinking it would be a great way to boost her gut health. But within an hour, she experienced burning in her throat, bloating, and chest tightness. It took her a few incidents before realizing the issue was the unripe fruit. Her doctor later confirmed she had a mild latex sensitivity, something she'd never known until papaya brought it to light. Even if you don't have a latex allergy, unripe papaya can still cause problems. As we age, our stomach lining becomes more delicate, and enzymes that might be harmless in youth can be rougher on the body. Unripe papaya can worsen acid reflux, gastritis, and other digestive issues that seniors commonly face. So how can you stay safe? Always choose papayas that are fully ripe, soft to the touch with a sweet aroma and vibrant orange flesh. And if you've had past allergic reactions to things like bananas, avocados, or chestnuts, be extra cautious. These foods share similar compounds with papaya and may cause cross reactions. The truth is, even healthy fruits can become troublemakers if they're eaten at the wrong time or in the wrong form. It's not about cutting out all the fun or flavor from your diet. It's about making informed decisions that align with how your body works now, not how it used to work 30 years ago. When you're over 60, your body's needs become more specific, more sensitive. That doesn't mean you're fragile, it means you're wiser. And with that wisdom comes the power to choose foods that protect your energy, support your healing, and allow you to live the vibrant, joyful life you deserve. We've already uncovered some surprising truths about fruits that seem healthy on the outside, but may carry hidden dangers, especially for those of us in our golden years. And while each one brings its own unique risk, the last two on this list are perhaps the most quietly dangerous. Not because they're rare, but because they're so common. Let's start with cake, a tropical fruit many people have never tried, but should approach with extreme caution if they do. Native to the Caribbean and especially popular in Jamaican cuisine, cake has a creamy texture and mild buttery flavor when prepared correctly. But here's the problem. When it's not fully ripe, cake contains a powerful natural toxin called hypoglycin. This toxin doesn't just make you feel sick, it shuts down your body's ability to produce glucose. That's right. It can cause your blood sugar to plummet fast. For seniors, especially those who may already be on medication for diabetes or insulin resistance, this can be catastrophic. We're talking about dizziness, seizures, loss of coordination, and in severe cases, coma or death. What's truly frightening is that the symptoms don't always show up right away. Harold, a 69-year-old who enjoyed traveling, once sampled freshly cooked cake from a local market while abroad. He felt fine for a few hours, but that evening the floor seemed to sway beneath his feet. His hands were trembling, and he could barely sit up without feeling like he was going to faint. A hospital visit later revealed that his blood sugar had crashed to a dangerously low level, triggered by improperly ripened cake. Some countries regulate the sale of fresh cake to prevent these incidents, but in many places, the fruit is available without warnings or restrictions. The safest advice? Unless you absolutely know how to identify and prepare cake safely, or unless it's been canned and imported under strict processing standards, it's best to avoid it altogether. There are far safer fruits out there that won't put your blood sugar in jeopardy. And now, we come to one more fruit that's often seen as sweet, hydrating, and harmless: lychee. Lychee is a small, tropical fruit with a floral, candy-like flavor. It's refreshing, delicious, and easy to eat by the handful. But for seniors, especially when eaten on an empty stomach, lychee can be surprisingly risky. What makes lychee dangerous isn't just the sugar. It's a natural compound found in the fruit that, much like cake, interferes with your body's ability to produce glucose. The result? A sudden drop in blood sugar, even in people who don't have diabetes. Margaret, 72, had always enjoyed starting her mornings with fresh fruit. One summer day, she picked up a box of ripe lychees at the market. Thinking it would be a light, healthy breakfast, she ate a bowlful before her usual walk. Half an hour later, she felt lightheaded and shaky. By the time she got home, her hands were trembling and her vision was blurred. It turned out her blood sugar had dipped dangerously low, and lychee, eaten without other food, was the trigger. The problem is amplified in older adults because our ability to regulate glucose naturally becomes less efficient over time. If you're taking medication that affects blood sugar, or if you've been fasting or skipping meals, lychee can push your body over the edge, leading to a blood sugar crash that may feel like a panic attack, a stroke, or worse. That doesn't mean lychee is evil. In moderation, and when eaten with a balanced meal, it's likely safe for most people. But if you're older, managing blood sugar issues, or sensitive to glucose shifts, lychee is a fruit that deserves your caution. So let's pause for a moment and reflect. Grapefruit, durian, starfruit, cherimoya, unripe papaya, cake, and lychee. 7 fruits that each come with their own hidden risks. On their own, they might not seem alarming. But when you add age-related changes, daily medications, and chronic conditions into the mix, suddenly that innocent bowl of fruit salad becomes a bit more complicated. This isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. You've spent your whole life learning, growing, and adapting. You know that knowledge is power, and the more you understand how your body works now, the unique strengths and sensitivities that come with age, the more confidently you can protect your health and independence. Food should nourish you. It should energize you, comfort you, and support the vibrant life you've built. But food should never work against you. And by being aware of these fruits and the way they interact with aging bodies, you're taking one more step towards staying strong, safe, and fully in control of your well-being. And here's something important to remember. You don't have to miss out on flavor or variety just because you're being careful. For every risky fruit on this list, there are many more that are gentle, nutritious, and supportive, like blueberries, apples, bananas, pears, watermelon, and even ripe mango in moderation. These fruits offer antioxidants, fiber, hydration, and energy without the same level of risk. So here's my advice. Eat with curiosity, but also with awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after eating certain fruits. Talk to your doctor or a nutritionist if you're on medications. Keep a food journal if something seems off. These small steps can help you catch patterns early before they turn into problems. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these fruits surprised you the most? Have you ever experienced odd symptoms after eating one of them? Your story might be the exact one someone else needs to hear. So go ahead, drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. And if this video helped you feel more informed, give it a like and be sure to subscribe for more content that's all about helping you live your healthiest, happiest life, no matter your age. When you support this channel, You help us keep creating content that educates, inspires, and uplifts seniors just like you around the world. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this helped you feel just a little more empowered and a lot more hopeful, because you deserve to feel strong, you deserve to feel safe, and you deserve to feel confident about what goes into your body. Here's to living your best life, fruitfully, wisely, and joyfully, at any age.